Afternoon again, gang. Okay, so I'm sitting out here in my large garden, and Saturday night on the live stream, a few people had asked me about using landscape fabric in the garden and why I do it and everything. So I wanted to kind of talk about this a little bit so you guys get an idea of a way to save yourself a ton of work. Now, like anybody else, anybody who ever gardened in the history of man, the biggest nemesis we all have is weeds. And you got to come up with a solution, okay? So, here's one. If you guys have seen this before, seen one of these before, it's a very long-handled, what I call like a razor hoe. And it's good for getting in between rows of potatoes or my rows of peas over here or something like that to get the weeds out from in between the plants. Of course, the reason you want to get the weeds out is because the weeds are competing for the water, for the nutrients and everything like that. The more the weeds take, the less your plants get, which of course means the less you have in the way of production for your plants. So, I'm getting older, like some of you, and using this thing is great, but I don't want to be doing this in my garden beds. I mean, the one I'm sitting in here is 40 by 24. So I'm going to show you something real quick. If you take a look at this video last year, this is when I was pulling my potatoes. And I had mentioned even when I planted the potatoes that I didn't want to use this row cover, but you'll see all the weeds in here. I didn't want to use it last year because, of course, I wanted to get some biomass in the ground. I wanted to get some roots in there for the worms to work on. Anymore, I don't. Now I want to get rid of the worms. So what I'm going to be doing is laying this, okay, which is landscape fabric. Now, if I flip this over here and show you what's going on. All right, so here is the garden right now. All right, and obviously those are all my peas, which are doing wonderfully. But directly here to the right of my peas is where my corn is going to go, and then right of my corn is going to go my beans, and then over and on that side I already have my potatoes. Now, the peas don't have any row cover in the middle of it. That's what the razor hoe is for. The potatoes don't either. Kind of hard to dig potatoes out of the ground if you're trying to go through row cover. But my beans here will. Now, if you look there at the back end of the garden, you'll see weeds growing. I was out here with the razor hoe 2 days ago, cutting the weeds up. Got rid of them all. They're already coming back. So what I want to do is use this landscape fabric to cover it all. So let me kind of show you what I'm going to do here. Okay, so very simply what I did was I just stretched it all out and rolled it all the way down to the end here, okay? And now this comes in various widths. I have the 6-foot width. Doesn't look like 6 feet, does it? No, it's because it's doubled over. So the first thing you're going to do is cut it. And this is what somebody was asking about over the weekend. So if I kind of show you this, and I'll try to set this here. This is what I'm using. It's a little handheld torch. You can get this at Walmart. That's where I got mine. And it works really well for just cutting this through. So if I kind of show you what I'm going to do here, how easy this is. Let me get this fired up. Oops, there we go. Okay. All right. I know it took a little longer than you'd expect, but that's how simple this is to cut. And the reason why you want to do it with the torch and not a pair of scissors is now it has melted those sides together so it won't fray. It's real simple. I mean, okay, it took me, 30, 45 seconds there to do it. But so there's the first thing you're going to do. Why you want to cut it, I won't have any worries about fraying. So let me roll this out and I'll show you what's next. Okay, so now you can see I just basically unfolded it. Now it's 6 feet wide. So now what I've got to do is tack it down to the ground. And that's where these come into play. Your typical landscape staples. Real simple. Put these about every 3 or 4 feet. And I haven't had any problems with any of this coming up with the wind. Now, there's going to be different people are going to say different things, okay? And I've seen different people on different channels say different things. I prefer the galvanized ones or the stainless steel ones that don't rust, because then I can use them year after year after year, because you're going to take this up every year, and this plastic will last you, probably 3 to 5 years, okay? It's not going to last forever, but 3 to 5 years is good as long as you take care of it. Some people like the ones that do rust because they say, oh, it grabs the ground better with all the rust nodules on it and stuff. It just, to me, it makes it a pain in the ass to take it out of the plastic. You know, now you wind up ripping the plastic a little bit where it comes out, or it's just harder. Your choice, either way. But the landscape staples work real well. This stuff works exceptionally well for keeping the weeds down. It's a woven product, so it is permeable, so the water can get through it. This again comes into the reason why I've said you need to have liquid fertilizers made, because the liquid fertilizers will go right through here. Any of your granules and stuff you need to put on before using this. The granule stuff will not go through here. The other advantage, and the reason I'm out here doing it today, is, as I had said to you guys on Saturday night, that I can plant on Wednesday. I mean, it's going to get to like 49 or something at night, you know, so close enough to 50 degrees. But because this is black, what it will also do is heat up my soil, which will give me an advantage to plant just a little bit earlier. So wanted to give you the short, quick tour here on what it is. This stuff goes in real simple. I mean, literally, to do a 6 by 24 foot space here, if I wasn't recording, would probably take me less than 5 minutes. I'll do another section, probably 2 more here, because like I said, this is where the corn and the beans go. Got one other garden where peppers and tomatoes go, and other than that, the other gardens it's already in. So y'all had asked for it. I thought I would show you this real quick. Have a good afternoon. Pinball out.